Greetings, Inquisitors! Welcome to the Holocron. This is the week 205 update for the Darth Loquitur account. I update this account's progress every week, go through all the characters, ships, mods, Datacrons, whatever I'm doing for the account. So that y'all can follow along, please remember as we get started, hit that like button. It does help me. It helps the channel. I'd appreciate it if you could do that. Alright, we didn't expect to get a relic this week. We got two of them last week, so we're going to work on Kelleran Beck, and we're not going to quite get him fully to gear 13. But we will get him to gear 12 and be able to lock down 5 of these pieces and then just be waiting on a little bit more to finish him off. I also find out here that Kelleran Beck is particularly satisfying to spin, so I figured I'd leave this in here and show you the joys of spinning your Kelleran Beck. So do that if you enjoy a little light show. Paz Vizsla here, we're going to take him up to the gear level where he needs Cairo and park him there. Take his skills up, get him ready to go for the future. Alright, that's as much as we're going to do with Paz today. Then we did get a bunch of extra Zeta materials with the event last week, so we can go in and put the Zetas on both Padawan Obi-Wan and Master Qui-Gon. So there we go, Zetas on those guys now, that's good. Kind of getting to the point where that team feels like it's finished up. Alright, going into Phoenix now, we're going to make a big commitment here and put an Omicron onto Hera's leadership for Territory Wars. We're going to apply all the rest of her skills, including this Zeta, and we're just going to make this Phoenix team as good as possible. I'm checking the other characters to make sure there isn't other stuff that I need. There's a few things on Chopper we got to top off too. So there we go, Phoenix fully engaged now. In mods, here we go. Working on a few. Slices aren't working out so far. But, you know, that's the gimmick. You don't always get what you want. Here we get 12 speed on 3 rolls. It's not that great. We go ahead and take it up for the 4th roll. We do get speed on it. But we're not going to take it to 6 dots and keep going. 13 speed here on 3 rolls. We take the 4th roll and get 6 speed, take it to 20. And then when we slice it up to blue, we finish it off at 26 speed. So that's a fantastic result. Great at 26. That's our, you know, one. If we don't get any other mods this week, we've succeeded already, right? All right, so taking a look at these other mods, we've got a 21 speed mod that we try to work on here. We've got a purple mod down here that's 15 speed. We hit it again, it's 19 speed. We've run out of 6 dot slicing materials, so we'll have to park those, come back to them in a future week. We've got some Datacrons that we can re-roll. So we re-roll the level 6 on this one and get an attacker Datacron out of it. And that's really all we've got. We don't have materials to keep leveling Datacrons up, and we don't have a whole lot of materials to re-roll or Datacrons that are at a level where they could re-roll. So we got to wait for Conquest to open up next week, and we'll start farming up materials and working on the newer set of Datacrons again next week. So that's it. Pretty short update. Committed some big raw materials and got Kelleran Beck ready to go. So let's take a look. Week 205. Not much GP. We're at 10.09. We added 10,000. 187 relics still, but 163 Zetas with the... actually, that should be 164. I added 3 total Zetas. Interesting. Messed that up. All right. 30 Omicrons, JMKs in the top 50. Fleet Arena, we can still get top 5 with our Profundity and the Chimera to beat the Leviathans. GAC, we've dropped to Kyber 3. We'll talk about that here in a minute. And then the target is still to get Kelleran Beck next week. Farming strategy is the same. We're still farming Night Trooper twice a day and working on that Imperial Shuttle that we've never managed to get farmed up. Fleet Energy, we're just getting materials with that. Cantina, we're getting signal data. And then mods split is still 3 days a week farming mods, 4 days a week slicing materials. And I have been trying to buy a lot more mods out of the shop, but I haven't gotten that many purchases. So if you're a mid-game player and you've been buying a lot of stuff out of the shop, tell me. I mean, there's a 15 crystal cost to refresh that mod store now. And I feel like for people, I've had people tell me that they buy 10 or 12 mods out of there a week. If you're looking for purple or gold mods with 4 or 5 speeds starting out, man, I'm not finding that many good mods to buy out of the shop. So for those people who are buying a lot of mods out of the shop, let me know what your strategy is. I'd be interested to understand if maybe I'm just looking at it in a period of statistical failure or what. But yeah, leave a comment down below. Tell me how it is that you shop for mods or successfully get more of those than I'm getting. All right, the planning is the same. We're going to use Bo-Katan Journey to fill in until we're ready to go with the Ahsoka stuff. The farming timelines on Ahsoka are going to be long. We talked about that last week, unless they come out with an event that helps us move that along. Tier 2, we're working on gearing any of the new characters. Tier 3 farming. As any of the new characters become available to farm, I'm taking them out of the farm for regular energy. If they're Cantina characters, then I wait for the appropriate time to farm them out of Cantina. The order for relic priority is Kelleran. We're going to do him, then Paz, IG-12. Try to work Stap in there if we can work in the Cantina farm. And then get Bo-Katan, Mandalore. Keep working our way up from there. We did make this commitment for the Hera Omicron and just kind of explain what's going on there. I've said before that if you're trying to build your account and you're trying to move up in Grand Arena, it's not just about how fast you can build your account, it's about how fast you can build your account compared to other people who are also building their accounts. So it's a bit of a race, right? An efficiency battle to be able to do more with your account than your enemies are doing. Territory Wars, there's the same kind of thing going on. There's constantly, every guild out there, people are building more Galactic Legends, and they get more of these Omicrons that are Territory War-based Omicrons. So as time goes on, it becomes increasingly hard to be able to full clear your opponents. Well, we're getting to the point where we're starting to get stopped by, let's say, big enough walls or consistent enough walls from our Territory Wars opponents that the guild has sort of made a request that everybody try to up their Territory War game a little bit now by adding Omicrons for Territory Wars. I figure this is one I can do right away. We've got the Phoenix team. The Phoenix team can beat Jabba with Embo. And if we can use a non-GL team to beat a GL team, and if a lot of other people in the guild are willing to do it too, then we can start taking down their Jabba walls with our Phoenix teams. Then that frees up Galactic Legends to be used on a different wall and gets us further in or gets us a full clear. So that's a little bit the idea behind it. So we're putting this one on as a support of the guild, and we're going to try to kill Embo hut teams with it. Save our GLs for something better. In Grand Arena, I've struggled a little bit in this last round of 3v3. And almost all my losses come down to Datacrons. I'm fighting against opponents who have either built a lot of Datacrons or who have carefully crafted some of the best Datacrons out of these last 2 sets. And there's a lot of good ones. These Datacron sets, I think, are better than average with both the stats on the Datacron as well as the level 6 and level 9 abilities that these Datacrons have. So these opponents with well-developed Datacrons, they might have 4 or 5 of these teams on defense with things like Rogue One, the Datacrons, the Great Mothers we had to fight with the Datacron. That team was absolutely bonkers. Moff Gideon Datacron is really insane. And we even had an opponent that had teams on defense with Eth Koth and Plocrons with the Jedi stun mechanic. And in 3v3 with Jedi stunning everything when they use a special, those teams were particularly hard, even though Eth and Plo aren't necessarily great characters. Those Datacrons were just nonsense. So, I don't know, it's probably been 6 months, 8 months ago. I wasn't farming that many Datacrons at all, and I started having the issue where my opponents had a lot of Datacrons and I had few. So I had to change my strategy, commit to making those 3 50 cost refreshes all the time when Conquest is up to make sure that I get a lot of Datacron materials and develop quite a few Datacrons. And my strategy so far, honestly, has been you take what I roll, make quite a few Datacrons, get lucky with a few, and it's been good enough. But if the sets are going to come out this good, I'm going to have to change that strategy, farm more of the reroll materials, and start trying to really roll all the way to level 9 and then reroll and focus on the very best abilities going on to these Datacrons so that I can kind of do the same things that my opponents are doing, and then either have the Datacron teams on offense to beat those Datacron teams on defense, or to do it the other way around and strengthen my defenses. So I got to up my Datacron game. But honestly, it's hard it's hard for me to think through how to escalate it. I've got to try some things in practice. I don't want to end up just having to commit to 100 cost refreshes as well. If the way to get more Datacron stuff is just to do more refreshes, it's so inefficient. I'm already throwing away 150 crystals a day on this stuff, on materials that are temporary and will go away in the future. And I don't have enough spare crystals to feel like I've got extras. I still have to buy those carbonite circuit boards to make sure that I don't run out of those. And if I ever want to do an occasional refresh on an event or anything like that, it's hard to save up with the way I've got it running right now. So I don't want to spend the 100 cost refreshes. So I'm going to look at the shops, and I'm going to try to figure out if there's some kind of balance that I can make between, maybe buying stuff out of the shops, or farming differently, spending more time on that Sector 5 node to get some more reroll materials up there. I don't know. So some things we got to look at. I'll try to figure out a better efficiency strategy for Datacrons. And if I come up with something, I'll surely let you all know, and we will make a little video out of that and help everybody understand. So that's going to wrap up the week 205 update for the Darth Loquitur account. Thank you all for coming out and watching. Appreciate each and every one of you. Please remember to hit that like button on the way out if you didn't hit it on the way in. Subscribe to the channel to see more of this stuff in the future. Use the notification bell to know when I'm doing my GAC live streams. Join me over there. It's fun. You can hang out, watch, give me advice on what to play, ask questions, get an account review, whatever it is that you want to do. Hope to see you over there. Thanks a lot for watching, and we'll see you in the next Holocron.